What if I told you the smartest person you know is planning to vanish, and they don't even know it yet? Not die, not move away, just vanish. Stop texting back, stop showing up, stop caring about things that used to matter. And the wild part? It's not because something broke inside them, it's because something finally clicked. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what that click feels like. And you might realize it already happened to you. Think of a light bulb. When it's off, a room looks normal. Everything blends together. You can't tell what's junk and what's valuable. But flip the switch on, and suddenly you see everything. The dust, the cracks, the stuff never worth keeping. That's what happens inside a smart person's mind, slowly, over months or years. One day, the switch flips, and they start seeing people the way you'd see that room, lit up for the first time. It usually starts small. They notice a friend only calls when they need something. They notice a smile that doesn't quite reach the eyes. They notice someone cheering for them out loud, but going quiet the second they actually win. At first, they brush it off. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But once the switch is on, you can't turn it back off. Psychologists call this pattern recognition. Your brain starts connecting dots it used to ignore, and you can't unsee the picture they make. So smart people quietly start choosing who gets to stay in the room with the lights on. But here's where most people get the whole thing backwards. They think smart people pull away because they think they're better than everyone else. That's not it, not even close. The real reason is almost the opposite. They pull away because keeping up with everyone else's noise is exhausting. Picture carrying a backpack. Every shallow conversation, every fake compliment, every one-sided friendship, that's a rock going into the bag. Most people never notice the weight because they never check the bag. Smart people check the bag constantly. One day, they realize they're tired, not because life is hard, but because they've been hauling rocks that were never theirs to carry. So they start setting them down, one by one. Here's the part nobody talks about. When someone sets down those rocks, people around them feel it. Texts slow down. Invites get declined. The energy shifts. It stings. Because to everyone else, it looks like rejection. But it's not rejection. It's protection. Carl Jung, a famous thinker about the mind, once said something worth remembering. Until you understand what's happening inside your own head, you'll keep thinking life is just happening to you. Smart people reach a point where they stop believing that. They notice other people's anger, jealousy, or clinginess usually isn't even about them. The friend who snaps, probably scared of something else entirely. The person who never listens, probably terrified of being ignored themselves. Once you see that, you stop taking things personally. And once you stop taking things personally, you stop wasting energy trying to fix people who never asked to be fixed. Here's the biggest myth about people who disappear like this. Everyone assumes they love being alone. They don't fall in love with being alone. They fall in love with quiet. For the first time, silence doesn't feel empty. It feels like finally hearing your own voice after years of noise. Think of static on an old TV. Turn it off, and the silence feels strange for a second. Then you realize how loud that static actually was the whole time. That's what quiet feels like when you finally log off from everyone else's noise. And in that quiet, they start asking better questions. Not how do I fit in, but does this life actually feel like me? Once someone asks that question, there's no going back. They don't vanish overnight. It happens one quiet decision at a time. One day, they stop arguing with people who already decided not to listen. Another day, they stop chasing friendships that only show up when convenient. Then, without telling anyone, they've built a life that doesn't need anyone's permission to feel good. From the outside, it looks sudden, like they gave up on people. But really, they just stopped giving up on themselves. So here's my question for you. If you've been pulling away from certain people lately, don't panic and think something's wrong with you. Ask yourself this instead. Are you running away from people, or are you finally walking toward the version of yourself you were always meant to become? If this video hit different, hit subscribe. Drop a comment and tell me, has someone quietly disappeared from your life, or have you been the one disappearing? I read every single one. See you in the next video.